Live from WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 7.
It is 7 o'clock. It is Tuesday, and we begin with breaking news we're following out of Groton, where a plane crashed right into a home. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm Eric Parker. You can see that plane in that video there. It happened late last night at a home on Ring Drive. Amazingly, the two men on board that plane and the man inside the home all survived.
We're fortunate here that nobody was in. Well, there were injuries, but no fatalities. But there were two occupants of the aircraft taken to a local hospital. Let's make sure they're all right. We hope they're all right. But it could have been a lot worse.
Investigators are just beginning their investigation to figure out what caused that crash. Police believe the pilot was trying to come in for a landing at Groton New London Airport, just a couple of miles away.
Sunshine won't go away today. It is going to be beautiful out there, ladies and gentlemen, after some morning storms that rolled through. We had lightning, we had thunder, no severe weather, but we did have some lightning and thunder earlier this morning. Some towns picked up anywhere from a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Much needed Scott's liquid gold. But unfortunately, there's no rain in the forecast now for several days, so I hope you got some nice wet weather. Our Channel 3 early warning dew poll radar scanning the state dry. Look at the eye cams across the state. They look amazing. What a sunrise at 6:02 it was this morning. Roads are a little wet, so if you're leaving right now, slow it down, keep your speeds down. And as you can see, we had a little fog in our Rocky Hill vantage point. You can just make out the tops of the buildings in the state capitol. Torrington, good morning to you. Absolutely gorgeous sunrise there. More of the same in Middletown, more of the same in Hartford. Wow, what a spectacular skyline. So we did have a stormy start. We're going to take you back 12 hours. You can see the rain rolling through with lightning and thunder. I came in wicked early this morning and relieved Mark Dixon because, you know, we don't like to leave the Weather Center unmanned in situations like this. We'll always be here for you 24/7 if the weather gets a little stormy. So I came in at 2, Mark left, and I did a little Facebook Live, and I hope you tuned in. Temperatures today start off in the low to mid 60s. This isn't bad. 61 is the typical overnight low. Dew points are up from yesterday morning, but these are expected to drop throughout the day today. And the visibility, hold on there, cowboy. We are looking at some visibilities that are down a little bit in parts of the state, but not too bad in other parts. So as we move through the day today, look at all that sunshine. Temperatures moving close to 83 degrees. That is the normal high for this time of year. A degree or two cooler for the shoreline, but abundant sunshine will prevail there as well. And as we march on through, we are expecting a mostly sunny sky today. The storm threat is none. Not even the general thunderstorm threat is in existence today. All right, so the daytime highs today will climb into the low 80s, and then tomorrow looks pretty good too. Once the storm has made a departure, as it has, it's dragging with it its cloud coverage. We're in for a really good day of weather today as high pressure builds in. So that's some good news. And as you can see, there's really not a whole lot going on throughout the Northeast. So Futurecast tomorrow's weather today keeps us high and dry. It's going to be a beautiful day today, a beautiful summer day with fairly low humidity and comfortable temperatures in the low 80s. Let's show you the forecast once again. Temperatures in the low 80s, partly to mostly sunny, and then your 7-day forecast, dry, dry, dry. An isolated shower possible on Saturday, not a washout. Sunday, an isolated thunderstorm, but not a washout. But you will notice the temperatures start flirting once again with that 90-degree mark, especially on Saturday for inland Connecticut. That's a check of your early warning forecast. I'm meteorologist Scot Haney in the Early Warning Forecast Center at Channel 3. Hope you all have a great, safe, and healthy Tuesday. Eric, back to you.
All right, Scott, thank you. We have the latest for you now on the coronavirus in Connecticut. Governor Lamont says hospitalizations have now dropped to the lowest number since March 20th. More than 44,000 people were tested for COVID-19 between Friday and Sunday. 370 tests came back positive, 3 more people died, and 42 total patients remain in Connecticut hospitals. The state's largest teachers union is calling for the start of the school year to be delayed. The Connecticut Education Association says it's concerned because the latest CDC numbers show the infection rate among children is steadily rising all across the country.
It shows conclusively that not only can young people, students, including very young students, get COVID-19 and spread it to their peers, they can also spread it to as adults.
Along with the delayed opening, the CEA is asking the state to expand remote learning and create a more comprehensive contact tracing program just for schools. To help students get ready for the return to school, Channel 3 is launching a brand new effort called Masks for School. We're giving away 2 youth-sized cotton masks per child on a first-come, first-served basis. Our first event will be this Wednesday in Waterbury. You can pick up the masks at the Police Activity League. That's from 9:30 to 12:30. UConn officials say 4 residential and 3 off-campus students have tested positive for coronavirus. This comes after testing more than 3,700 students. The positivity rate is around 0.1%. Reports of parties were investigated over the weekend, but the school says none exceeded the 25-person indoor or 100-person outdoor limit set by the state. Additional state troopers are also on patrol looking for large gatherings. Turning now to Campaign 2020, the Democratic National Convention is now underway. It's based out of Milwaukee, but it's mostly taking place remotely because of the pandemic. Channel 3's Skylar Henry shows us the highlights from the DNC's opening night.
The Democratic National Convention opened virtually last night, largely online and much of it pre-recorded. The first virtual convention in U.S. history included a succession of speakers who took aim at President Trump.
Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Trump golfs. His actions fanned this pandemic.
We now face a second threat, but this time not from Mother Nature. This is a man-made threat by our own negligence.
The political speeches were broken up by musical performances and guest interviews aimed at highlighting the Democrats' policy priorities. George Floyd's brothers led a moment of silence for victims of police violence. The night ended with former First Lady Michelle Obama blasting her husband's successor.
Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head.
Earlier Monday, President Trump was in Wisconsin, where the scaled-down Democratic convention is based.
Joe Biden has no enthusiasm. No enthusiasm. And you don't win without enthusiasm.
The Republicans hold their convention next week. Most of the major speeches and events are scheduled to be held at federal properties in the Washington, D.C. area. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
We're following some developing news out of Wethersfield, where today crews will continue to clean up the scene of a fiery crash on the Berlin Turnpike that killed 1 person. Firefighters say 2 tractor trailers crashed yesterday morning right in front of the Cumberland Farms. Eyewitnesses say it all created a huge fireball. The road was closed for more than 10 hours, but it is back open this morning. And new this morning, voters in Waterbury will decide the fate of the Christopher Columbus statue that sat outside of City Hall. The Board of Aldermen voted last night to put the question on the November ballot. If voters decide to remove the statue permanently, it will be returned to the local Unicode chapter who donated it to the city in the 80s. Last month, someone vandalized the statue and broke off Columbus's head. And Glastonbury High School will be getting a new mascot. The Board of Education voted 7-1 last night to permanently eliminate the Tomahawk logo. The school superintendent says he wants a decision on a new mascot to be student-driven and expects leadership groups at the high school to work alongside the principal to come up with a replacement. Thank you so much for tuning into this edition of Eyewitness News on this Tuesday morning. Remember, you can get news and weather updates anytime you want them. Just turn to the Channel 3 app. Thank you for watching. I'm Eric Parker. Have a great day.